I'm not quite sure what I did yesterday, but my camera's all off. And I didn't use it after I was with you guys. I'm going to bring it up just a little bit. Sorry. I'm not quite sure what's going on here. At least I'm going to try. Ew, maybe we won't today. Okay. We're just going to leave it like it is. Let me just tip this a little bit. That'll help. Okay. Sorry, you guys. I'm just going to have to remember to bring it up above that. Whoa. That line. There's something going on here. I'm not quite sure what. I'd rather you be able to see the bottom. Oh, I see. Nope. I'll have to investigate that when I'm done. Anyway, so I'd rather have you see this than worry about this so much. So, anyway, happy day 29 to all of you. Even a happier day 25 to those of you who have finished. And I'm just going in to grab the chat here for those of you who are live. Okay, there we go. So today is day 29, and today I am going to do the photos of all the presents I received from my clients, and then I write them all a list down somewhere. Originally, I thought I was going to do like a list here in one of these two pockets, but when I took these photos, I liked them both in the bigger version, especially you can see more. And then I have these two smaller photos. One, you've seen this one before, but my best friend is also a client, so, which is actually why I get such a lovely present. But so this, I wanted to make sure this was included, even though this is in the book earlier, and I'm okay with that. On the day I got it, it's in the book. Good morning, Nancy. So I'm totally okay with that. And then I don't remember, somebody asked me if I had a joy sticker the other day. I still have this left, and I'd really like to use this in my book because I love it so much. And when I was going through things, I found that card, and I think they work really nicely with this. Now, whether this ends up on the top or the bottom, I'm not sure. What these are is these are the gift tags from my gifts, and I really like to keep these like in here somewhere, so I'm going to play with that a little bit. The other thing, I think what I'm going to do is write out the presents on tags. So what I'll do is I'm going to glue something, one of these three versions, back to back. And I do like making a list and checking it twice. I'd have to put 2 presents per space, but I think I can get that in and it would be fine. I'm just looking at how many spaces I have. I also like the idea of a pop of red in the middle here. And then I think this might work with that as well. The other thing is I do like both of these, especially this one. And this one I have enough lines that I could do things. And then I saw this little tag in here and kind of liked how that laid over that. So kind of, Allie, I was watching Allie's video from the 23rd, I don't remember, but she has a video where she does a tag and then she puts a bunch of other things over the top of it. So I'm thinking that I might do something like that, but I'm not sure. And these are, this is actually, the client made this for me. There's a little monetary thing in here when she did it. And I'm actually going to take this off. I won't use, when I do this, depending on how I do it, I will use some sort of twine in here and use that. So, but this would work well with this. Now, Allie, when she did it, she used little icons like, oh, and I could do that. Like she did a present and things like that. So I could do that as well. And then maybe pop these kind of behind that as another little piece. Or the other thing I could do with these, instead of gluing these, I could create a little pocket here for the tags as well. And maybe I'm not going to glue that all the way down as I'm thinking about it, because I think that might be a fun thing to do. So depending on what goes on, I think this creamy one works better with this than it does with that. So there's a little bit of, I'm not quite sure. Now you won't see me write on the tags. I'll do that later on. So some of that embellishment on the tags, I might have to come back and do when we're all done. Okay, so then the other thing is, since this kind of color scheme is set with this and this, when I was going through yesterday, I had pulled out this piece of paper because this appears in the Hallmark layout and Hallmark movie watching layout, and it appears nowhere else in the book. And I think I want to get it in one more time because I like this with the joy, and this is a dominant color. I think this paper would work really well. So now I'm thinking, okay, what do I do for up here? And I have a couple of candidates. So I like this, but I think it's a little bit too close to this. I mean, this works really well with that. So let me just pop this here. That works really well with that. I also could use that stripe on the sides here. That's an idea, but not blue. I do have this green, but this is all I have left. I don't have enough of this to do a 3x4, but I would have enough to do, and I probably will cut this just a little bit to get this on the side. So I do like that. It's not quite this green stripe, but it's close enough. And then, let's see, I do have this green, which I like quite a bit. And this one could go, I think, either place really well. It's definitely different than the card, but then I'd have enough to also go over here. So that's a strong candidate for me because of that. I did think about like a red card, like doing red. I don't have a lot. My other thought is I could do that, and I could bring in some red from, you know, like underneath, or just bring a little bit of that on both of those, you know, like the top and the bottom, or just the bottom, like do strips. So that's an idea as well. And then I could stay sort of within this color scheme, bring this green over here. My other option is to bring in the red, and I could do that pretty easily with this. And then if I do that, then I could do some presents here. Or here. I can do it either way. Up here, which I also like the idea of that. I have plenty of stickers. And I have this one too. But as I'm looking at this, I think I like this better because it's a little more muted. Okay, so far, as I'm looking at this, that's starting to be the big winner for me, color-wise. And then, you know, green or red here. And that could be successful, leaving a little spot here so that I can tuck these tags in, I think. I'm sorry, you guys. Oh my goodness. And I just saw this little good cheer. That could work on one of these photos too, because it works with the colors. So let's bring that in. All right. I'm thinking no with this because the style is too different from these and from this paper. So as much as I like that, I think that's a no. So then what I'm going to do is definitely do these, but let's cut this a little bit on both sides so that I have a little bit more room. I'm going to grab this photo to sort of measure. If I can get them close, that would be awesome. And you know what? I think I can. So that's pretty exciting. Yeah, I didn't have to cut off. I had to cut some off, but not a, I mean, I cut a decent amount off of those, but I think it's fine the way that goes. Okay, let's make sure that's in the right. So then what I want to do is cut some strips of this paper. And they do not have to be straight. You know, you just need 4 strips wide enough to handle that. What'll happen is I'll line these up against the edges of these cards here, so it doesn't really matter what's going on. And then that's all I have left. So that's awesome. I love this piece of paper. Good morning, Melissa from Nevada. That's exciting. And good morning, Carol. And thank you. Can always use those. God's blessings. Absolutely. Okay, so then I'm going to do this. And then I'll just take that one and just line that right up. I can do this. It doesn't have to match because this is kind of like an all-over design too, just so that you know. Be careful what you pick, because if I picked a stripe and didn't cut it properly, you'd see it. But I don't need to be concerned about that because of this all-over design. Does not matter. So then what I'm going to do, and you also have to make sure, by the way, that your photo covers that white core in the center. I know that kind of goes without saying, but I know that sounds silly that I have to say that, but that's a reminder to me because I've done it before where it hasn't, where I've cut everything and then went, oh, that's right. It didn't cover that. That doesn't work so well then. Anyway, so learn from my mistakes. All right, also learn from my mistakes. Let's make sure we have this facing the right direction. And I'll just do this. Just eyeball it, that it's about the same distance there, which works better some days than others. And we have one card done pretty quickly. Especially if you don't have the large Christmas paper stash that I have. This is a good way to do this because you can use your scraps up, or if you just want to use your scraps up, this is a really good way to do this. Usually by this time I've done a lot more of this, but for some reason I have a lot of paper left this time. Note to self, do not buy any LA Studio paper packs next Christmas because you don't need them. Need. That's just a silly word, right? Because I don't really need most of what I own. It's just fun. Okay, so little bits of scraps here, but I'm not going to worry about carrying those forward. They're so little. And by the way, at the end of Christmas, if I have scraps, so like a lot of these pieces, if I have these left, not the stripes probably, I'll probably keep bigger pieces of the stripes, but at the end of Christmas, if I have those left, what happens to those is that they go in my scrap bin, which I give to either my sister-in-law, who is a 4th grade teacher. I give them to one of my clients who does kids programs at libraries, and they especially love the border strips. She's created a lot of cool things with those. And then so that's really cool. And guess what I did? I right down the middle there. Oh wait, no I didn't. Oh yes I did. Okay. I didn't want to do this one because that's where the tags will sit if I decide not to use them out. Carol, I so agree with that. She says we say all that and then the pretty stuff comes out and down the purchasing rabbit hole we go. Absolutely. The one thing I definitely almost always need to purchase is red and green, like a solid red and green. That and I say need because I use that a lot in layering. you know, you saw me. What did I use up first? I used up the green and red polka dots. That was the first thing in those packs that I use up. It happens every year. I know myself well enough to know that that's going to happen. So I usually buy supplementary red and green patterns like that. So yes, Nancy's laughing too. You guys, I'm really sorry. I have to quick blow my nose. I'll be right back. Okay. Hopefully I muffled that because I walked out of the room. I didn't want to share that with you if I could help it. I was trying not to do that, but sometimes it happens. Okay, so I like the good sheer here to kind of echo what's going on here. These can go in here. And what I could do is pop little, actually, what I'm thinking about is putting twine on these. And then maybe, let's look and see how deep I can do this. So I can put glue to about here. So about halfway in that row. I'm going to do that because then what will happen is when I decide to do the tags, they won't slide down that far. And now I've kind of messed up this photo when I did that. So let me try this again. When I put that on, there we go. That's, oops, almost back even. Okay, so then, if you haven't ripped this off 15 times, like I just did, I'll put twine through these, but then I can stick them out of the top of this, so I know that they're in here. I'll poke a hole in these too. I know that they're in here, but, and they're just a little extra element. And I'll know what they are because I do this every year, but they're not, the colors are not interfering with design. Now, I might change my mind about this because depending what I do with these tags, I might just put them in there. So I'll just pop these in here or pop them back out of here. Oops, this isn't staying down either because I've opened it up more than once. Okay, there we go. But I'll put those there. I'll put holes in them and twine in just a few minutes if I decide that that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so then what I'm thinking is that I do a 3x4 piece of this. Ooh, and I just can do it. This is an old piece of Lawn Fawn from the Snow Day remix from 2019. So I say old piece, it's not. I think what I did is I bought these patterns because I needed red and green. Well, when I got them, it's a very pinky red. So it didn't work with whatever I was using that year quite as much. But I have used it with some a Pink Fresh collection and a few other things that I really liked. Okay, so I'm just trying to decide depending what I do here. So then let's look to see what I can use up here, and then that will help determine how wide this is going to be. So I could do presents like that, which I think is cute. What other presents do I have? Because I thought I had presents on my sticker sheet. I do not, but I might have presents. Oh, I do. Oh, and these actually might work out really well. I have presents on the chipboard. Let's get rid of some of this chipboard because this sheet is now the bane of my existence. What I'll probably do is put it in with that. Ooh, look at this. There's a Merry Christmas and a Good Cheer. That could go on there somewhere. What I'm thinking is like this. I don't think I need 4 of them. This one probably not. Okay, really kind of like how that lines up. There is some green in there, so I get the green. And then I might have another present or two. Oh yeah, look at, there's one there to put little pieces through that. Now I may regret when I do my 12 by 12 scrapbooking using up all the presents, but that's okay. I'm not going to wait. Kind of see what's left here. Oh, I have some tags like that too, and that would be cute. Okay, there's a Merry and Bright here, but it's that other color green, so I think that's not going to work. What's back here? Okay, no presents there. Okay. So I really like the way that looks, and I don't think there's any presents in here this year. They have a lot of, they've done this the last kind of 2 years or so. It's been a lot of labels, and I'm kind of wishing for more icons from Ellie Studio. I'd like a few. They used to do a lot more things like presents and stuff like that. Ooh, and I have these too. I forgot about that. But I think we have enough with the chipboard, unless I wanted to do, look and see. There is a small blue one here that I think is kind of cute. I think it's too small though. Yeah. But I have to remember that because there's those same 3 presents here, which is nice. And I keep forgetting about those puffy stickers that I have them. All right, so now I want to cut a piece of this so that it sits between all the presents. I'll show you what I mean in just a second. Okay, I'm gonna make sure this isn't too, and then I'll probably choose where to start this, probably there, or maybe here, so I get pert. Okay, so then what I'll do is cover up most of this. Do I even have, oh, I need to have a green showing here to pull in this green from over here. So that's what I meant by starting it. And then what I'll do is do that. The other thing I could do, now that I think about it, is these could all sit on top too. Maybe that would be better. And then I could put a little, okay, I'm going to do this instead. I really want to be able to see quite a bit of this stripe. All right, Janet, that's awesome. I've been doing a lot of lives in the morning just because I'm off. And then I go about my day afterwards. But I also want to get these done. Okay, this is ending on a white, and I don't usually love that. So let me, sorry, Harmony. Harmony commented because I called her out when I was ripping stuff the other day. Okay. So we'll just cut here and there. Okay, now normally I would probably love a little bit of color across here, but it's the wrong red. Oh, I really need to use this. Like this do not open till December 25th, but it's not wide enough. And I don't know, let's see. Yeah, I don't really love that. And plus if I do that, I cut off some of the things down there. So that's not going to work all that well. I think we'll do Merry Christmas up here, maybe in Good Cheer down here, or just Merry Christmas up on this one. I actually don't like both of these on the, So maybe Good Cheer stays where it is, but Merry Christmas will go down, will go there. Okay, this, I think all I need to do is put the joy on. So I got a little, sorry guys, that was a squirrel moment. I'll do that in just a second, but let's get this mounted on because I know I'm going to do that, and I need a number. I keep forgetting those, and I haven't used any of my number stickers in a little bit. You know, all the label stickers and all of that I have. So I probably should do that. I did think about putting something like Christmas Joy or something if I could find a red like Christmas or something like that. So let me grab, before I put that on and get it down, I'm thinking if I don't have Christmas, if I could find even one that I could, like I could do December Joy, because this does happen. Let's do December Joy, and I'm going to just cut off the hello, because this does happen all month long in my room. Let's grab this so I know about where to put it. And then I'm getting some red in on this. Like it better. I don't like it there. Okay. Let's get the joy down. And then I'll decide. I think it needs to be December Joy. And actually, I'm doing that. This needs to go on the outside of the pocket, or it's going to cause problems, because that'll slide right out. Okay, then let's get this pocket done. And I still can put labels and stuff like that on those other pages too. Okay, so I need to get this kind of arranged. I don't remember exactly how I had this. This needs to come down a little bit so that it's getting stuck. Okay, I'm gonna do, this is, sometimes I'll glue top down, sometimes I have to do bottom down, and that's what I'm gonna do with this one. I like top down, which means I glue from the top first, because then I know everything's getting stuck where it should be. This just to move just a slight bit this way. I'm getting some trapped white space there otherwise. Okay, that's better. Although, oops, now that I think about it, I think these have a backing. They do. I did this the other day and one of them fell off. Okay, so about halfway there. And then I just want this one on the top there to just sit a little out to the side so that they're not right on top of each other. And I do have a few different reds going on in here, and I'm liking that. You know, there's some different reds here because there's so many. There will be so many involved in this layout. And guess what I did? These should be glued on top again. So now I get to do this all over. Just make sure that works. Just a little bit that way, a little bit up. Okay, ooh, loving that pocket. I think this is a little bit too bold. So I think Good Cheer is going to go for Live Another Day. Actually, Good Cheer goes there. And I think I like the Merry Christmas up over here on this one. And I do need a day 29, so maybe along here. Do I want to do it with this or the labels? Another good spot would be on the tag here, but I'm not going to do that. I think I'll just do it right now. And where are they? Okay. So I have red. I think not the green. I'm thinking red. And over here to take up this space here. Or here. I feel like I need something over here. If I do it up here so that it comes across. Okay, I'm just going to set this to the side and see what I have left in like stickers. Do I have a sticker here that I could use? Like these days are merry and bright. It's a lot going on that though. There's a tiny one that says elf approved. Here's one that says packages have started arriving. And then this could go up here. Right there. I will put these on the inside though. Okay, I like the way that looks. So let's do that. Sometimes it is nice to have that in the pocket so you can play around a little bit and move them around. Okay. Okay, so like in the way that all looks now, I could go through, and the one thing that's not over here is pink. So I'm thinking maybe a pink enamel dot would be nice to bring in there. And I have to grab my enamel dots here, because the Altenew pinks that I have pulled are wrong for this pink. Okay. Let's try that because we already have it. Okay, so to go with that, I think I'm going to do this brighter pink here. Oops. And these will stay on the outside. go. And then maybe a couple over here. So kind of like what I would normally do on a scrapbook layout, we'll just do 3 of them over here. I would probably prefer the bigger one to be right here, but there's not enough room for it. Okay, so we have, and they kind of cross across here. I'm just thinking, do I want any more like strips or anything on here? And I think no, I don't think these need phrase stickers. There's a lot going on in these present little present pieces, so I think that's enough. I was just looking, do I want one up here though? No. Okay. I think if this was flat, I would do it, but it's not flat. All right, so there's that. Now, the next thing is, what am I going to do for my tags? And what will happen is I'll just put extra twine in here. And what I'm going to do is just look at this and see which I like the best here. Okay. I like both of those. I don't like this one. So I'm going to put this one away. I think it's too distracting. If it was all one color, it would be fine, but I think it's too distracting laying on top of all this other stuff. And honestly, I like the idea of making a list and checking it twice because it's kind of like a present thing, but I like the muted color of that. And I know that I will have plenty of room on these to journal. I think it's a muted version of the green that I'm using. Definitely the numbers are. And I'll just glue these back to back. And like I said, I'm not going to do this with you guys here because I need to write this all out. So what I'm thinking is that, well, I was thinking I would like the idea of that on there, but I really don't as I'm looking at it because it's bringing in this green that doesn't appear anywhere. So it's too bad this Holly Jolly Days is that green because I really like it. Although what I could do, silly me, is, so that works. What I could do is take my trusty, this is a really nice green washi tape. And I'm going to cut this. Actually, what I'm going to do is rip it and then cut it. Remember when I didn't like that, how that one card looked, and I did this? And I really ended up liking it. Now, I could have wrapped this to the back, but I'm not going to because the other one is white on the back as well. Ooh, yeah, I love this idea. And this is an idea that I saw that Allie did yesterday. The Crop-A-Dile has a smaller hole punch than that. Yes. We'll do it on the back here. But I liked how it looked on Allie's. And there we go. So then I can add these two and I'll put them right there over the top of that. And I really, really like the way that looks. Now, I also could pop that, I think, maybe no to those two. I like them, but I think the color, you know, if I had a red present, this present would have been probably great on there. I'm actually thinking that I'm not going to put a third element. So I like the way it looks, and I think it's 1 with the tag 2, 3 elements right there. Just my brain just thinks in terms of those things. I think in terms of threes, odds, because it's pleasing your eye. Julie, sorry. It's Allie Edwards. So she does have a YouTube channel. It's kind of, Shamel has been doing a December daily book, but she didn't call it December daily. It's Journal Your Christmas for a long time as well. And Allie Edwards has been doing December daily. So they both have Allie started out where it was every day that you did something. Shamel has always been about preserving memories from the past and the present in the same book. But I think Shamel actually started hers a little bit earlier than Allie's does. But they both kind of have the same philosophy. Shamel has a class called Journal Your Christmas. That you pay for it, but you pay for it once. And then once you've paid for it, you never pay for it again. And you have access to any classes she's ever done. And every year you get an email, do you want to participate in this? And I always do. So you don't get a video every day from her, but you get a prompt every day. And a video, she always starts out, this is actually the way most of Shamel's classes go. At the beginning of the month, you get one pretty much every day. The closer you get to Christmas, the less frequent they get. So right now, she skipped about 4 days or so. And right now, I think it's about every other day that we're seeing one. But you get a prompt every day to give you an idea. And about every other year, she makes a shift in the prompts so that they're not always the same. Like she added some different prompts this time. And you can think about it in relationship to this year or in relationship to previous years. So you get childhood memories documented and that kind of stuff, which I think is really cool that you're able to do that and sort of add that into your scrapbooking. And I have done that, but I've usually taken those prompts and turned it into a 12 by 12. I don't usually do it within my book. So I like to use them kind of together that way. So that's, and Allie now has changed, and hers is a memory a day. Whether that memory is from the past or the present doesn't matter anymore, and I like the way that is. Or she just said this the other day. I was listening to her, and I've been watching enough of them that I don't remember which prompt this was for. But she said, basically, it doesn't have to be, you don't need to have it on the day, the memory from that day. It doesn't have to be from that day. It's just a memory you're recording. So I think that's a really nice way that they've really gone with this, because I think so many people were feeling pressure to get this book done or feeling bad if they didn't get it done during Christmas or didn't scrapbook every day. And obviously, there's no rules to this whole thing, right? And expecting everybody to get them done during the holiday season when things are crazy is a little crazy. So I think a lot of the creators who do these have really gone away from that. So I'm going to show you how this is going to look. I'm actually going to put another knot in here, I think, on top of that loop. Now, I am really not expecting this to stay like this all the time, but it's so cute when it does. And then what I'll do here is create another knot, but I don't want it too far in because otherwise this will fall down in the book. And I think, yeah, this is a big tag. The other thing I could do that I might do, let's grab the book and see how this works, because I think I still need to shorten that up if I'm going to do it that way, or it'll fall out. Yeah, exactly. That sounds like all of us. We get spread more thin as the month goes on. And there's no rules in scrapbooking here. All right. Other way. And now we're getting to the point where I'm going to have a problem putting stuff on that side. But that's okay. That's a lovely problem to have. Okay, so if I do it like this, I think I really need to shorten this up. It's going to fall out. So I need enough that it sits like this, or I have to, now they make, and I wish I'd bought these, I haven't. They make little holders that you can put them on the edge here, and then they attach to this. My other thought is, as I'm doing this, is do I have something in those extra pockets where I could pop that in there? The bag is too big, I think. Let's see how that will work. Necessity is the mother of invention here. I could try to tape this shut and add that there, like this, so that we know that that's there. That I think works. It's just not my vision, because I really want to be able to see that tag if I can do it. And I'm looking for my here we go. Oh wait, no, that's the bag. I'm looking for my Simple Stories pockets and I can't find them. Oh, hold on a second, you guys. They were together. I promise I was being organized. There they are. Okay, so is there any way that I can do something with one of these? I have an idea. Okay, so if I do this, and then the pocket just sits here, right? I could tuck those there, cut this off. Yes, that's what we're gonna do. Okay. I would like it better, I think, if it just was sitting out, but that's not gonna work for this particular application here. So I'm going to go over to my trimmer, and I'm going to trim this so that I think the top part of this is out, or something close to that top part. Okay, have it measured. Okay, that worked pretty well. You could also cut it too. And then what I'll do, this is one of those days where I have stuff everywhere, and I can't forget these because I have to do this yet. What I'm going to do is I'm going to grab one of these that I haven't used. There we go. Ton of, and then I'm just going to take, and this is going to be close, but it will work. So I'm going to grab the large side of my crocodile here. Works better if you don't have quite as much coffee as I have. Oftentimes I end up having to repunch these again because this hole is a little bit smaller than these binding holes. Okay, so it didn't punch all the way through the first time. I think I was being pretty tentative about it. So let me just get this punched through all the way through. Ew, there we go. I do this all the time, so to punch things with this. And they usually don't rip out. I usually don't have any problems with that. And I'm going to like this, the way this works. Like I said, in this case, necessity is the mother of invention. I think that bag would have worked just fine as well. But I really like the idea of this. Ooh, and here we go. Because I have that top out. Now, if I wanted to keep this in, I could take my fuse tool and do an extra line here. so that it was about as big as this is, so this doesn't rattle around in here. And I might choose to do that. We'll see. But look at that. Now we have a tag holder, and you can still see both sides. It still has the fun little piece there. So then what I'm going to do with these is I've decided I don't think I want another element sticking out of the top of this. So I am just going to tuck these in here. I know they're there. I maybe like show the two of these have actual tag tops to them. Just do this. So they're peeking out the top there, and I know they're there. And then just, well, okay. I'm laughing at myself because I'm changing my mind as I'm doing this. Let's see how this looks if I, and I like to save these little gift tags. I don't do it on my own gifts, which is funny, but I like to save them from my clients because I think they, they spend time in that kind of stuff. So I like doing that. It's a nice little memory. I started this one year because the person who made this one for me and another one of my clients made me these beautiful tags. And I'm like, well, I have to save those, right? Because I'm a crafty girl and I understand the work they take. Okay, so let's try this again. And see what we think. I figured this was going to be a long session. Okay, we'll put, hold on a second, guys, I'm gonna, so I can see this a little bit better. Oh, I ended up with one of them on the other side, so we don't want to do that. Just want the tiniest bit sticking out here with the Merry Christmas. Okay, yeah, I think that's good. I'll probably trim these just a little bit. I will actually get out my fabric scissors to actually really cut the twine nicely. I didn't want it quite as floppy as it was. I don't want it flopping completely over this Merry Christmas. So there we go. So loving the way this turned out. And this is a really nice sort of, like a, what do I want to say? It wasn't ideal, but I like how it turned out in the end and how that will look in the book as it is. And as I'm looking at this, I probably am, maybe not today, or at least not right now, because I need to get some grocery shopping done for tomorrow because I'm celebrating Christmas with my grandkids and their grandkids' family tomorrow. Anyway, so there we go. So I think that works really well. I'm glad, Melissa. That's why I do this. And you can see I am happy to borrow things from other people as well. That absolutely does not bother me. The one thing that I didn't look at that I'm glad that this worked out, although I may have had another, I know I have other ones, is that I didn't make sure that it was going to fit between these two holes. So make sure you do that. If you're doing what I just did, to make sure it fits your holes. Otherwise you could, otherwise you've wasted one. Not that we don't have plenty of supplies, I'm sure, but actually these are a little bit at a premium. And I'm definitely, I think, going to do this where because I don't like how much this is moving around in here. Not that that's that big of a deal, but the less of that, the better, I think. So there we go. So that is my my page for today. And tomorrow, I think Linus finally gets to come in. I think we're going to get 2 photos of him, so I'll probably use it on this to represent today. I might actually take I have 2 of them here, but I have a third one that I just took yesterday because he got a heated pet. I got a heated pet pad for him because he wouldn't leave me alone because he wants heat. He misses his sister. So I'll probably print that and pop it in here as well too, so that it can be a whole, you know, a little Christmas with Linus thing. So, all right, you guys. So that is today. Always thank you for joining me. And if you have any questions, just you can always pop those into the comments or chat, and I will answer those. I've said this before, I'm definitely reading every comment that you guys make on the videos. I just may not have time to actually, especially at this time of year, come back to them and comment on them. But know that I really appreciate them, that I'm definitely reading them. If you ask me a question, however, I will make sure to get that. I will make sure that I answer that as soon as I possibly can, especially during this time of the year, because you might have a question about something that I did or how I did it. So, and I just saw, I put this on the backing. I'm going to have to take that off and paste that on just in case you notice that it is not holding properly. So anyway, you guys, I will see you tomorrow. And we'll go from there. Pearl, I just saw your note about rewatching from the beginning. So great. Thank you. That's great. And just also know that there is a playlist for every December daily that I've done once I started recording them. Some of them it's a flip through. Most of them it's actually the process, so that if you feel like going back and looking at other videos, you can do that. But I also have flip throughs of, I think, if not all of my albums, most of my albums. So you could always go back, like start with the, you know, you're seeing this one, but you could go back to the 2021 flip through. And then if you had any questions about how I did something, you can always go back into the individual videos, because they're there under the playlist, if that's helpful to anybody. So hopefully that will, you know, help you out. And like I said, just, you know, if you want to, just watch the flip throughs first and then do the videos. Not that I'm discouraging you from going back and watching the video series. If that's what you want to do, that's fine. But it might be a quicker way to do it if you're looking for ideas. So anyway, you guys, I'm loving the way this book is coming along. I said this yesterday. Don't forget, I've seen Allie do it. I did it yesterday, and I've seen Shamel do it. Do not forget to go back and look at your book from the beginning to help you decide that, ooh, I'm missing this story. I need to do more of this, like I just did with this today. I just added these colors back in. It's not quite as much as that, but you've seen now the paper again, and the colors have appeared again. So I'm glad that I realized that, because I think it makes a difference within the book. So, all right, you guys, have a great rest of your day. And thanks for joining me today. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye, everybody.